and welcome to the GrapeSEED official podcast. It is time for Teacher Says number 2, where we bring back some teacher guests from the GrapeSEED Friends series, and they share some of their expertise with us. Like before, we will have a couple questions on this podcast for our teachers to answer. You'll get to hear all of them answer each question. So you'll get a lot of pieces of practical advice from some of the most veteran teachers around the world. Keep in mind that these are the opinions of the teachers themselves. They are sharing what they have learned has worked for them through years of self-reflection. Something that works for one teacher may not work for another. These tips are meant to give you ideas on what to do or to inspire your own journey of self-reflection. In this second episode, you will hear from Aaron, Alina, Will, Bruno, and, adding to the list here, Matthew Green, our most recent GrapeSEED friend. Definitely look back on their previous podcast episodes, GrapeSEED Friends and otherwise, if you want to hear more from each of them. Let's get started. What is your favorite prop? When and how do you use it?
I feel like this is a setup for me to say the Marvin monkey that I got on the podcast. But thinking about it for a while, there's so many props that I have a lot of fun with. But when I was thinking, they're very unit specific. So I think my favorite prop, because it's going to be more versatile, I can use it in many different situations, is my group of puppets that I have. I picked up some animal puppets from the 100 yen store or the dollar store, and I've been using them a lot more than I thought I would. There are some lesson plans that specifically recommend using puppets, like in Unit 2, Nice Things to Say. It wants you to demonstrate a conversation going back and forth. And that was the original reason why I bought them in the first place. But not just that situation, but I've started using them in different situations. You can use them in the conversation, all the chants, like what is this? You can demonstrate conversation going back and forth that. But I can also just use it for the questions like, what is this? Is this a gorilla? No, it isn't. It's a monkey. And it can also be used for who am I? Things like that. So I can use it for many different units and all the different questions that we're going to be tackling in those units. And another thing I've tried to use it for with my younger students, if they're a bit nervous, their first time in GrapeSEED, kind of hard for them to talk. If I have them talk to a puppet instead, I've noticed that they lose that nervousness, that they have a bit more fun. That I'm not talking to the teacher, but I'm talking to a puppet, and they open up a lot more and will say something that otherwise they would not say.
My favorite prop is a small soft ball. Now, children also like it a lot. We play games with it, and with the help of the ball, we choose who answers next, for example, and it's always a surprise for them. And one more prop, I have an interesting one. It's, a spider toy. And we, for example, when we were singing Little Bitty Spider song, our small friend was singing with us all the times, like sitting somewhere. And actually, each unit has its own prop, and usually not just one.
This is not a fun prop, but for me, it's probably the most important thing in my classroom is a big calendar, because we use the calendar every day. Every year, once we get into December, I go shopping for the GrapeSEED calendar, and it usually takes me forever to find the perfect one, because I want the calendar to have large squares for each day, with not a lot of Japanese, because there's some calendars that have something written on each day, and it can be really distracting. So big squares for each day so that we can write down children's names for their birthdays, but also the months and the days of the year. I want them to be in English and only in English and fully written. There's so many calendars that have, instead of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's Mon to Wed, like that. Or same with the months. And there's some fancy calendars that have French or Spanish, which is great, which is fine if it's my personal calendar at my house, but we don't need that in the classroom. I want only English. There can be a little bit of Japanese if it's like national holidays, but having the English, the days of the week, the months, and the big spaces is essential for lots of things that we do in the classroom.
Goodbye, my friends, goodbye. I'm sad to say goodbye. It was a good day, but now I will say goodbye, my friends, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.